Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today I think we have a pretty cool one to share with you, and that is concerning MiSTer. So we're going to be taking a look at a Super Nintendo core. This core is not show ready. It's still being worked on. It's a little early, being ported over to MiSTer, so we can't expect perfection at this moment, but I still thought it would be pretty cool to share with you guys a little bit of this, just so you know what you could be looking forward to if you're interested in the MiSTer project. I was super excited to see Super Nintendo was coming, come on, super excited. Hell yes, I'm super excited to see Super Nintendo come to MiSTer. It was just a matter of time, and these guys are working their asses off, developing these cores, doing so much work and tweaks, fixing things, putting out new stuff almost daily, it seems. This is an awesome project to follow. Definitely a cool one. I'm like really excited to have jumped into this. This is really sweet stuff in my opinion. The future of gaming, FPGA based console and old school computer gaming, I think is straight legit. So before we jump into a Super Nintendo game, I just want to point out, because a lot of people kept asking me when I was streaming, because I was using PC Engine controllers earlier, but now I'm using an official Super Nintendo controller. This is a later version. It's still an official controller. It came out when the slim version of the Super Nintendo came out. Has the Nintendo logo imprinted in, but it's still an official controller. Came out back in the 90s. I love using official controllers, and being able to use them on MiSTer is even a huger plus to me. So a lot of people are like, well, how are you doing that? So what I'm using is the Bliss Box, the 4-play Bliss Box. I'll highlight this more in another video most likely, but this thing is sweet. We did do a video on this, showcasing it, using it for emulation. There's tons of adapters available to use tons of different systems, original controllers. The adapters have original controller ports on it. Flippin' sweet. It's a little pricey, yes, but I think it's an awesome accessory for MiSTer. And if you already have one, hey, that's even better, right? So that's how we're using official controllers. It plugs in through USB, and then there's adapters that you can plug in original controller ports into that little hub thingy that I just showed you. So let's go ahead and jump into this right now. We're in the Super Nintendo core at the moment. We can load up a game. We do have a few options here. Aspect ratio 4:3. ROM type, there's going to be low ROM, high ROM, EX high ROM. That's something you would be more familiar with if you've made repros in the past. I've made repros in the past, so that's why I kind of understand this a little bit. So it seems at this time, this core, you do need to select if it's a low ROM or high ROM. You shouldn't really have to mess with it too much. A ton of games are just low ROM, so you shouldn't really find yourself into too many issues once this is like really publicly available. If this is still the way it works, I would imagine maybe at some point they would have this where it just auto selects when you select the ROM. That way there's no issues loading. But hey, we're just gonna leave it to low ROM right now, because I'm pretty sure I have a few low ROM games on here. For example, I know Final Fantasy II is low ROM, and I know Sunset Riders and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. I know those are low ROM games. Chrono Trigger is definitely high ROM. Final Fantasy III, Street Fighter II Turbo, I believe, maybe a high ROM game. I could be wrong, but hey, I'm pretty sure it is. But let's go ahead and check out Sunset Riders. Let's see if this boots up. I'm just kind of doing this live, man. I just threw these games on here right now and figured why not check it out. There we go, the Konami logo. That is sweet. So the one thing I do want to point out here, while I kind of mess around with this game, is we are displaying in 720p. The reason behind that is that's just the stock default option with MiSTer for these cores. I am going to be doing a tutorial video very soon here for those who are jumping into MiSTer, showing you how to get 1080p output. I've already messed with it. It is freaking amazing. I've played NES, Sega Master System, and TurboGrafx, and some of the arcade cores in 1080p, and I'm just like, this is legit, man. Like, super exciting stuff. Right now I'm not recording in 1080p because it's just funky with my capture cards. Kind of, makes some weird issues that I just didn't want to have to deal with tweaking a bunch of things to get it to work. But that's YouTuber problems, and that's not the general public, people who really want to jump into this and just game problems. So I'm still going to be showcasing that in the video, and it looks amazing. You guys will see that. Can't wait to share that with you. But let's go ahead and jump into this game a little bit. Right now there's, could be some timing issues with certain things with sound, maybe some graphic glitches. But like I said, this is kind of an early port of it, still being, cranked out and worked on. So definitely not its final form at this moment. So if we see anything crazy, not anything to knock. This is just kind of like, hey, the future here. And so far the sound, I mean, I'm hoping that comes through a little bit for you guys. I have the sound kind of low because I'm recording everything onto one recording right now, but the sound coming through my headphones sounds legit for this game. I own this original cartridge and I've played it a ton on my original Super Nintendo and on my Super NT, and this is great right here. I'm not really hearing any issues. Graphics, I'm not seeing anything glaring. So this is definitely cool. I mean, I'm sure not every game is gonna play perfectly right now, but whoa. But this is definitely a good sign for an early version of this core that's being worked on. Man, like this legit makes me happy and super excited to be able to be playing Super Nintendo on the MiSTer. I mean, I can't wait to see what else is going to come out. There's talks of the Neo Geo, CPS, all sorts of crazy stuff with arcade cores, and this is really sweet, man. This is really sweet. So let me go ahead and see if we can jump into another low-rom game. Let's see if Turtles in Time loads up. Hopefully, yep, loaded up, no problem. Sometimes from what I understand with this early version of the core, some games, you might have to try loading them multiple times. So far, it doesn't seem like I'm having an issue. So that's cool. Can't really complain, right? Like I said, the visuals to me look great, but they're in 720p, so they kind of might have a little bit of a fuzziness to them, but when you're playing in 1080, it is just sharp, like really sharp. So let's jump into this. So far, I'm not hearing any sound issues either with this game. I tested one right before I started recording. I tested Evo, The Search for Eden, which one of my favorite games, very underrated, but the real cartridge on that like went up crazy in price over the past few years. And that game worked, but there was some like little minor graphic glitches. That was the only game I tested before these, and it's kind of sweet to see. Like these two seem to be working damn near perfect. Dare I say that? But Evo, like I said, the sound was good and the graphics were 99% good. It was just like I kept seeing like a couple little glitches on the character you play as, the little fish that you're trying to evolve his body parts and whatnot. I kept seeing like some little glitches. Might be something to do with the sprite and how the game renders that sprite, because there's so many different parts you change on it. I don't know. I'm not really technical into all that stuff, but yeah, that game there was a few little issues. But that's what's cool with this community, is that these guys are really working hard. And I really say, if you could support them any which way you can, definitely do so. There's so many awesome guys working on this stuff, so many resources that are just free and available to all of us. And these guys to be spending their time and money to work on these things for the community is really a cool thing. So man, if you guys are ready to jump into this, there's a lot of resources out there. There is the MiSTer Wiki. I'll put a link in the description there. Smoke Monster on his YouTube channel, he talks a ton about MiSTer. He's really orchestrating a lot with the community, getting the word out there, connecting people. So he's doing amazing work. If you want to find out more information, definitely check out Smoke Monster. Todd's Nerd Cave too. He's doing a lot of awesome work and networking and stuff like that, getting the word out, connecting people. Electron Ash. There's just so many people that are just doing amazing things, to either work on this and get these cores, top notch and just killer, or just, there's people who are really just spreading the word and orchestrating things and getting people connected within the community, helping them out, doing a lot of those things. Like I know Smoke Monster did a donation drive for some of the developers and stuff like that to help out with things that were needed. And I think that's definitely sweet. I contributed to that a little bit, you know, the best I could at the time. Definitely happy to try to support whoever I can who's working on MiSTer, because it's really cool stuff. You know, if you're into this kind of gaming, you know, hardware simulation instead of just, you know, emulation, you know, emulating games, you know, getting that high level of accuracy, the no lag, you know, with your controls and whatnot. This is really a cool project to jump into, to really just get started and get going. It's $130 to get a DE10 Nano. That's the basic thing you need. There are daughter boards, the SD RAM and whatnot, that aren't required for everything, but you know, do come in handy if you want the full potential of everything that's available out there at the moment. But with just the DE10 Nano, you could do TurboGrafx, Sega Genesis, you know, the arcade course and stuff like that. A lot of cool stuff. A lot of people really excited just, you know, for TurboGrafx and PC Engine, and the core that's available does it excellently well. I'm going to be highlighting that in another video, showing some super graphics and whatnot. But yeah, if you guys want to check it out, I'll have some links in the description. Really do appreciate you guys spending some time with me. I am flipping ecstatic that this works and works this well for something that's not even ready to go public yet. I'm just, this is amazing, guys. So really do appreciate you guys spending these few moments of your time with me. Smash that like button, subscribe. Oh crap, I'm gonna get killed by Baxter here. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. And with that said, guys, oh, don't forget, make sweet love to that notification bell. I will catch you guys next time. Peace out, bye-bye, and boom.